I'll start off by telling you what happened to me this morning. I got up bright and early and I went down to Cottesloe Beach this morning, all my camera equipment, everything ready to go. And I did film the video, beautiful Cottesloe Beach, ready to go, and I filmed about 15 minutes worth of video, along with some B-roll, which I'll show you now. Have a look at the B-roll. This is probably the most, about my favourite place in the world, Cottesloe Beach. Obviously in my hometown of Perth, WA. This and up at Kings Park are two places I love to go just to get away, sit down. As you can see, Cottesloe Beach got some beautiful grass, so you can sit under the big pine trees, or you can go sit on the sand, on a towel, whatever you please. The old surf club there. There's a beautiful restaurant up there as well, the Indian Tea House it's called. So just about my favourite place in the world. So I went down there to film the video. It was really bright, so I couldn't really see the screen, what was going on. And I get home and I look at the video and it's blurry as fuck. So completely unusable. So here I am, I'm doing the whole video again just for you guys. It's frustrating when you do something and then you've got to turn around and do the whole thing again. But anyway, I couldn't use that vid, so let's do it again. Okay, so first, let's have a look at how the market is going. The XJO, the ASX 200, right at the moment, well actually this was yesterday's closing price, 6,094. I think it's down a few more points today. The start of the month it was 5,990, so it's up 104 points for the month so far, which is 1.73%, and that is a good month. It's only 2 and a bit weeks in. So going quite well. And if you actually look at the XJO from about the 3rd or 4th of April, so about 7 weeks ago, the market has been doing really well. It's almost a straight line up after, yeah, it hit a low, what was it, 5724 early April. So now at 6094, up 370 points, which is 6.46%. For the entire market to put on 6.5% in 7 weeks, that's a pretty good little bull run going on right there. If you remember, early Feb, when we had that big 300-point dive, that come from about the same point we are now. It was around the 6,100, 6,120 mark. The market then just sold off by 300 points. And there are a few reasons around at the time, with the trade war beginning and a few other things going on. There were reasons for it, but it's going to be interesting to see what happens over the next few weeks with the market, whether it will power through the 6,100 or whether it retreats again. So we'll wait and see on that. Okay, take a quick look at the shares I put out for May. The first one was BKL. That was $117.80 when I did the video on the last day last month. Closed yesterday, it was $126.99, so up $9.19, which is 7.8%, which is okay. But the good news is there was a trade in there, and I did make a trade in there. I personally bought $118.20 and sold at $130.73 for a 10.6% gain. So that trade is done and dusted already. So that one was a good one, Blackmore's BKL. The second one was Dulux, which was $7.73 last day last month. Closed yesterday was $7.87, and it's down a little bit this morning, I've noticed. So it's around $7.77. So it's basically around what I paid for it at the end of last month. It did get up to $8.20. They bought out their half yearlies on Wednesday, and they were okay, but not good enough for some people, obviously. And there's been a few downgrades from some of the bigger brokers. So they have come back in the last few days from around that 820 down to the 780, around where they are now. I'm in these, and no reason to sell for me. Nothing fundamentally has changed for the worse as far as I'm concerned. So I've got my selling $8.54, and I'll leave them there for another couple of months, see if they can hit that. The last one was AXE. This is from last month. They're a little graphene play. I asked for some feedback on them if anyone knew more about the stock or the actual graphene technology, and I did get some good feedback, so thank you guys on that. Some really good info about the assets that AXE do own, and from some geologists that emailed me, the assets look really good. So that doesn't necessarily mean they're going to be a boom stock, but you know, I'm in these. I bought these at 11 cents. They're around 13 and a half right now, so down about a cent since we spoke last. For a high risk, you know, you just put a small amount of your capital into, I'm quite happy with that, because I'm going to hang on to these probably for a longer term, maybe a year or two, just to see what happens with them. But really, the amount I've put in, I'm just willing to blow the lot on these. You know, it's boom or bust. If you watched my video from, I think it was early January, it was called Live CFD Trading, and I'll put a link in the description if you want to go back and have a look at it. In that vid, I did a hedge using CFDs, contracts for difference. I went long on BHP at $30.60, and I went short on CBA at $81.16. And I did that as a hedge, and look, I was bullish on the mining stocks, and BHP being the biggest, and I was bearish on CBA. So to me, it was a good hedge. So I did that trade, that hedge, and just in the last week, I've sold both those positions, and it turned out quite a good trade. They weren't huge trades. I bought $13,000 worth of BHP, or $13,000 worth of both actually. 13,000 long on BHP. I made a profit of $1,419 on them before costs, and I also closed out the short position on CBA at $70.80. BHP I sold for $33.99. Yeah, CBA I closed out $70.80, and I made a profit on them of $1,277. So all up, it was around about $2,700 holding both those positions for the last 4 months. Now, while they were both around $13,000 positions, I only had to put down 10%, because these are CFDs and these are obviously big companies. You only need to put down 10% for both. So I only used $2,600 of my own cash to put this position on. The rest was borrowed money, and you know, I made a $2,700 profit. So that's before costs. So that was around 100% gain on that $2,600, which is obviously very healthy over 4 months. Now, I'm not going to say this is typical of hedging, but it's what you can do, taking a bit of the risk out by going a long short. And this was almost perfect when my long went up and my short went down in price. So it was almost a perfect scenario, but it is what you can do. You can trade relatively safely, and you can still make really good returns without having to put in a lot of your own money. So anyway, go back and have a look at the live CFD trading, knowing what we know now, and see if you can get anything more from it. Okay, now I better update the comp, because I haven't updated that for a long time. So let's go to the screen. Okay guys, here we go. This is the first time I've looked at the ladder for over a week, so interesting to see what's going on. Now, just looking, not to focus on myself too much, but one of my shares, Triple T, is up 118%. It's had a mad run over the last couple of weeks. So it's gone from 122 when the competition started to 267 now. So up 118%, which is making my figure look pretty damn good. Another person, Kath Lee, also has that stock, so she shot up the leaderboard pretty quick as well. So anyway, enough about me. Let's take a look down so you can have a look at everybody's. Who's that? Aaron Twig got WBT. They're going well. They're up 41%. So flying for Aaron. What else we got? Oh, APT, that's had a good last couple of weeks. That's up now 33% since the comp started. There's a few people that have that, so it's helping a few. What else do we have? There's Kath Lee. Kath Lee there, she's up 31% with Triple T. Unfortunately, she's got SAS, which is hurting a bit. A few people have that. And AC8, which is about the same. What else do we have here?
Oh, there's another person with triple T. Who was that? Finance Rambling. There we go. Unfortunately, they got PLA, Blue Sky, just to even things out a bit. This one here, down 53%, up 118%, and they've got Bub as well. There. Continue along. Another one with APT. Anything else? Oh, FBR, that fast break, that's up 24%. Now a few people have got that. Young Gav there. APX, that was really flying. It's come back to the pack a little bit. $10 for. These prices are closing prices from Thursday the 17th of May 2018, by the way. So yeah, just to let you know that. And down to the bottom of the page, Paul Bogo down the bottom, up 10%, doing okay. PLS is doing well, up 18% on its own. And also Ore, another lithium play, up 17%. What's this one? WFE, they're up 33%. I don't know what they are. Going well. Okay, doke. So there we go. That's the total leaderboard. Now let's flick over to the leaderboard, everyone's percentage. Okay, so I'll go from bottom to top, and you can see where you are. What's happened to David Flory? He was right at the top early. Come back to the pack, David. Okay, going up, going up. There we go. Keep moving, keep moving. It's Jordan. He was right at the top a few days, or a couple of weeks ago. Now in 38th position. Falling a little bit. How's this Kane Brown? He's come from right near the bottom. He's up to 34th now. Going okay. There's Brandon there. He's down to 31st. He's fallen a few spots. Heading towards the top now. And the top 10, Ben N. Snyder, Eddie Finance, Stephen Driscoll, Mac Rogers, Lakshan Ranatunga, Toby Smart, Finance Rambling, Mark Williams, Kath Lee, and the Aussie Share Trader. So that's the ladder. That's it for now. At the end of the month, I'll give away another $100 voucher. So, yeah, we'll see how we go. No worries, guys. Catch you.
Ooh, the kid is flying. Okay, now a couple of other things. I went to Bali last week for the first time in 20 years. I went in 1998 last. I went with 4 friends last time, so 5 boys. And I can't say I enjoyed it in 1998. Got sick. Actually, everyone got sick. And for the last couple of days, we were there. I was going out by myself, and then I got sick on the last day. So, and not that I swore I'd never go back, but I've had no inclination to ever go back to Bali since that time. Anyway, I did go back. A group of friends wanted to go, so I decided to join them. There was 8 of us, went to Bali, and we had an absolute ball this time. I think being older and maybe a bit wiser, I didn't go to, to the places that I did back in 98. In 98, we hung out at the Sari Club a lot every night before that got bombed. We ate off the streets. We just didn't do things properly, so it's probably the reason that we got sick. A bit smarter this time, but really had a good time. So I don't know if Bali probably has got a bit better. I felt a little bit safer as well this time. Less hawkers on the streets, and just seemed to be a few less crooks around. And still nowhere near as cheap as it was in 98, but still okay, and a really good holiday, especially for a boys trip. I'll definitely do it again. So anyway, that's my recommendation for Bali. Okay, now I think I have mentioned a few times that I want to write a book, and as of Monday this week, I've started writing a book. It's got some investment, money and investing side to it, but I'm also going to broaden the subject matter a little bit, because I'm into living well, and that's not just having lots of money. It's also being healthy. It's also having a great marriage and a great relationship with my kids, and also being mentally healthy. And it's the holistic approach to life, and that's what my book is going to be about. It's for Aussie blokes. The Aussie Bloke Survival Guide is a working title. That may change, and it's just purely my opinion of a 40-something-year-old male living in Australia, how to live the good life. And obviously, you know, having a good amount of money is part of that, but there's so much more. So that's why I want this book to be like more, as I said, a manifesto rather than just an investment book. But there will be a bit about investing there if that's your only interest. But if you do sort of have greater goals and, you know, living well and having, you know, a great marriage and just being mentally healthy and happy and living a good life, then it may be for you. But I'll let you know when I've finished it. I'm chipping away at a page or two a day. So hopefully by the end of the year, I'll have something that I can bundle up and sell. Okay, that's about it for today. I will mention my next video, and I haven't started it yet, so I'm not sure exactly what form it's going to take. But the most common question I get is regarding what happens if disaster strikes. You know, people tend to, when they're trading and a lot of different areas in life, tend to really think worst case scenario and whether they could handle it. And, you know, the question, what would happen if the market fell 50%? You know, what do you do? And I'm going to tackle that question because it is a fear that you can have. So I want to try and tackle that and give you a few steps that over the years I've learnt so that I can sleep well at night, but also, you know, living in fear of these things that, you know, may not happen or that may happen a long time from now. It's just not a good, healthy way to live. So I want to tackle that issue. So it's going to be a few tips for traders to try and get over those fears, and, you know, just be more relaxed with your trading so that you can enjoy life no matter what's happening. That'll be my next vid next Friday, so look out for that one. Until then though, guys, that's it. Friday, must mention, Tigers, excuse me, got the shirt, I got the hat on as well today. I'm going to go see them on Sunday. They're in Perth, top of the table clash, Eagles versus the Tigers at Optus Stadium. So I've never seen the stadium before, so I'm excited to go and have a look and go to the Tigers. Whatever you're doing this weekend, do it safely, enjoy it, and I'll see you next Friday.